All right, guys, today I'm here to show you a really unique board game or tabletop game that you guys have probably not heard of before, and it's called Fozzy Football. So these are for people who love tabletop board games like I do, especially physical ones, and this combines ShuffleBoard, a really popular game that a lot of people like, with the combination of American football, which is really, really interesting, and I haven't seen anything like this before. Essentially what it is you got a shuffleboard that is kind of what your playing surface is, and then you use an iPad or iPhone on the side that keeps track of the score, and you're basically playing shuffleboard by sliding a puck across the table back and forth. But it is essentially American football, because depending on where you land, you can either do runs or you can do passes, you can fumble the ball, you can go for field goals. All of these different things that everyone recognizes from American football is kind of brought to life in a shuffleboard type board game, tabletop game here that, like I said, is really unique, and not only unique, but really well made. So I've been having a ton of fun with this with friends at parties, so let me go ahead and show you guys how this works.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, here we are with Fozzy Football. So, as you guys saw in that trailer, this is a really unique board game hybrid of American football meets shuffleboard, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this game to show you guys what makes this game unique and what you guys can expect if you guys get this game. So first, let's talk about a couple of things here in the overview. So let's go ahead and talk about the board first. So you can see here on the board, this is the actual puck that you're actually sliding. So you can see here it has the X marks the spot kind of thing. So when you roll it around, wherever it actually lands there, if it lands right there, you know it's marking that spot, and that's what you would get. So essentially you have that as what you're using to shuffleboard, and then you also have the board itself, and you can see if you go off the board over here on this side, it's a complete. Over here, it's no game. So you have two different sides here. You have the passing side that you're going for and the running side that you're going for. This quadrant right here and this quadrant right here. So that's why it says incomplete on this side and no gain on that side. And you can see all of the things that happen when you land in a certain area. So the goal of the game is just like American football. You're obviously trying to score a touchdown, get more points than your opponent before the game is over. And on your turn, the goal, of course, is to get 10 yards, just like American football. So what you do is you grab this puck and you're kind of throwing it back and forth onto the other side to try and get it. So let's say, for example, that the person in blue was throwing their thing over here and they land over here. They're essentially trying to go in the beginning for either a pass or a run. This is the pass side, this is the run side. So they're trying to throw it over here. If they land over here, as you can see here, that means that it is a 4-yard pass. There's nothing underneath it. It's just a 4-yard pass box. If they land over here, they gain 8 yards. If they land over here, it's a 20-yard pass. Over here, 12-yard pass, 16-yard pass. Over here, if it lands in there, offside -5. Over here, interceptions -13, or sorry, interception +13, and then that means that the other team would get it. So you would actually cause an interception if you land in these areas. Illegal motion, false start. So all of the different things that are kind of recognized in football, if your thing lands in it, that's going to happen to you. And of course, you're trying to avoid it and actually land in the boxes like the 8-yard and the 4-yard and the 16 all the way in the back, and the 12 would be even better. And of course, if you land out, then it's just considered an incomplete pass. You have 4 downs, just like American football, to get your 10 yards and go across the field. And if you don't want to do a pass, you can also go for a run. So you can be throwing it over here. You can do a 2-yard run, a 6-yard run, all of that kind of stuff that you're trying to do. And the same thing, if you land on these things, you're going to -5 for offside. A fumble, obviously causing a turnover, +9. Illegal motion, -5. Another fumble over here. And then you got the 14-10 and a 6-yard run in the back. And of course, if it goes out, then it is considered a no gain. So you go back and forth. You have 4 downs, just like you would in football. So if I was throwing it down there to try and do a run or a pass, I would essentially be aiming for it, and I would have 4 attempts, just like you would. So if I throw it 4 times and I get an incomplete pass 4 times, then of course I give up the ball, and then the other team would obviously get the ball and start doing their downs, just like American football. You could punt on 4th down and give it back to them so you can kick it further along the field. And if you punt, then you're obviously trying to attempt to throw it in this circle. So you would throw it down there, and depending on where you land, depends on how far your punt is, whether it's 30, 40, 50, or 60. Or if you're on 4th down and you're closer than 45 yards on their side of the field, you can also attempt a field goal. Field goal, you would have to get it in this circle here, and that's how you would attempt a field goal and actually try to get it. You would actually have to hit a field goal by landing in this area here. So like I said, it plays just like American football, but what makes this game really fun too, not only just the unique aspect of how you're playing essentially shuffleboard combined into American football here, but is also the application as well, as you guys are looking at here. So this application here kind of controls everything that's going on in the actual game here. So of course, it comes with this stand here, which is really nice. That has that says Fozzy Football there, which is really nice. And the board that I forgot to mention is all made out of really nice wood, so it's really smooth and nice surface and all that kind of stuff. It even comes with like a greaser and stuff to kind of make the board nice and slippery if you wanted to, all that kind of stuff. But the application itself is great. Of course, it has the rule book right there, as you guys are looking at here. Now, theoretically, on this stand, you would probably want to use an iPhone or a smaller phone, because this is a little bit tippy right now if I start touching it. So I'm just doing it because I can't use my phone right now, but theoretically, you wouldn't want to use a phone, even though it does work on an iPad too, if you want to. So you can see here that you have view the rulebook. It even has join a game. So if someone in your house has started a game and you want to kind of view it on an iPhone separately, so you both have like kind of phones on your own sides and you can both hit your own buttons, you could do it that way as well instead of having one central screen to take care of everything. You can see it has nice music in the background. I have it kind of lowered, but you should be able to hear a little bit of it. And then of course you can hit start game. Now you get two options when you start the game. You have competitive mode and casual mode. Essentially what happens here is in a competitive mode, you have an actual clock, just like you do in American football, where you actually have a play clock and you have a certain amount of seconds to actually get a play off. And if you don't, then it's kind of like you got essentially a false start, just like you would in football. In casual mode, there is no actual play clock, so you're kind of just doing it on the duration of the game. So there's no stalling or anything like that or worrying about a clock. So for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and hit 15 minutes here. We're probably not going to... We'll hit 10 minutes, actually. So you can see as soon as you hit 10 minutes here, it starts counting down. Now you can see everything that's going on. You got your home team's score right here, guest and home. Red team is always considered home. And then you have your first down and 10 to go. Ball is on the 25. You have 3 on the play clock, as of course there is no play clock. And these are all the buttons that you actually have to hit. So, like I said before, the goal of this game is to actually throw it down and get your points. So let's say, for example, I were to throw the shuffleboard here and I ended up getting no gain, like I talked about going off the board. Then you would just hit no gain.
Nowhere to run.
So you can see you can hear like the crowd cheering and stuff like that. But yeah, so I got no gain on the first one because I went off the board. Let's say I threw the next one on the shuffleboard here and I ended up getting a +2. So let's say I got
Gain of 2 up the middle. Makes it third down.
So you can see I got a +2 for doing a run play, so I hit the run. Let's say, and what's great is that the app takes care of everything for you. So now you know that you're on third down and you have 8 yards to go. So you need to get an 8 to be able to actually get this first down. So let's say, for example, I do a play here that actually does give me 8 yards, exactly what I need.
The catch is made for a gain of 8. First down.
So there you go. You got a first down for a catch, and now you're on 1st and 10 again, and now the ball is on the 35, so you're getting closer and closer. So you go back and forth. Now let's say that I throw the shuffleboard and end up causing a fumble. So let's say that that happens here. So I can do a fumble, which is right here, +9.
Looks like they've lost the ball, and we'll turn this around at the 44-yard line.
So now what happens is the other team just got the ball on the 44-yard line. You can see that very easily because the ball is now on the blue team side. The ball shows you like who has the ball. Right now you can see I had the ball red before. Now the blue team has the ball, and of course I caused a fumble. The reason that I hit +9 is because on the board where it says fumble, it has a +9, so you know that that's the button you got to hit over here. Same thing with the interception. It says +13, and that would be, you would hit that button, and that's why they're yellow over here, and that basically causes a turnover of possessions. So now the other team has the ball, and they're already on the 44-yard line, so let's go ahead and say that they go for, let's say they get 10 yards.
Huge hole, good for 10 yards. First down.
And let's say for whatever reason, the next 3 times that they go, they say they got no gain.
He stopped at the line.
No gain. Then they throw a pass. Pass is incomplete. And another run play. So now it's 4 and 10, but the ball is on the 34. So again, you can go for a field goal because he's 45 yards. He's got the ball on the 34-yard line, so he's right there, able to actually throw this. So what's going to happen is he's going to go for a field goal. Let's say that he actually gets the field goal. You can see on the bottom here you have the no field goal or good. So I'm going to hit good.
That kick splits the uprights. 3 points on the scoreboard.
So now you can see that he got 3 points. Blue team has 3. and it's to 0, and now of course the red team gets the slider back, and then they kind of do the same thing again. So let's take a little bit of the examples that I just showed you on the iPad app and just get like a closer look here. So I'm not that great at the game, so this is why I wanted to show you how the app works and everything first. But essentially, you can take this and you can throw it anywhere 10 yard lines and back. So you can essentially take this and kind of swing it in any direction you want. Let's say I do something like this, just to show you guys what I was talking before. Let me go off the board on purpose. So you can see that I went off the board. That is no gain. So my first play right here would be no gain. So I'm going to go ahead and hit no gain. The blue player would toss it back to me, of course, and then I get the puck back. And now, again, I'm on second down, just like the iPad app says there, 2nd and 10. And you're aiming for either the run or the pass, like we talked about before. Aiming in the middle is going to do you no good because that's only for the field goals and the punts. So you're not going to want to do that while you're trying to throw here. So let's say, for example, over here, I hit the green. The green is also considered whether incomplete if you're going towards the pass side, or no gain if you're going towards the run side. So because I'm actually going for the run side, so I'm going to go ahead and hit no gain. So I hit no gain on there. Blue player tosses this back to me, and I go ahead and grab it. And let's say I throw it a little harder. So you can see it landed over here. Unfortunately, even though it's touching the blue, the actual dot there, as you can see, that the X marks the spot over there, is considered to be off. So it's still a incomplete pass.
It's incomplete.
Now it's essentially 4th down here. So it's a 4th down and 10 on my own 25. So what I would want to do in this case, more than likely, is punt the ball away. Otherwise, he's going to get the ball on the 25. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to declare that I'm going for a punt. You just tell your opponent, hey, I'm going for a punt. I'm not going for the run or the pass side. I'm going for the middle. I'm going to punt. So you take this, of course, same thing as before, and now you're aiming for the actual middle here. So if we come over here, you can see that my field goal ended up hitting right here. You can see in the middle here. So it is a 50-yard punt. The ones that are numbered like this are punts in the circle, and then the ones that are with that symbol is the field goal number. So being on this side here, since I was going for a punt, I got a 50-yard punt. So I would go ahead and come on the iPad, of course, and hit a 50-yard punt.
A fair catch, and we're headed the other way at the 25-yard line.
So really cool that he talks about getting like a fair catch on the other side. And now the blue player, of course, would take over. You can see he has the ball. And now he's going to do the exact same thing coming this way. So now he's going to take this and he's going to go ahead and try to throw it down. Now let's say he tries to go for a gain over here. He, of course, hits the green because I'm terrible. And that would be no gain.
Nowhere to run.
Let's go ahead and try this one more time. So this one was a little bit better here. So as you can see, that play we just made landed right here in the center, and you can see that this box cutout is for the run. So you can see that box cutout there. So if it landed in the center, this would have been no gain or pass incomplete. But because it's in this square, which is where the running happens, and I'm in that square, as you guys can see right here. If I move that away a little bit, you can see I'm in the square right here. So this is considered a 2-yard run since I landed right there. Go ahead and just hit 2 yards.
2 yards, tough run. Makes it 3rd down.
So you obviously get the idea, guys, and then the clock is still running, as you can see here. And again, if you play the competitive mode, it's interesting because then you have the ability to actually play with the clock management, and you can call timeouts just like you can in real football. And if you're up by a touchdown, you may want to like mess with the other team and make them use their timeout. So there is more involved when you're playing the competitive mode, but the casual mode is definitely what is recommended when you play this for the first few times, so you get used to how to play it. Because every time that you play the competitive mode, when it's asking for a clock, you have to make sure that the button is pushed in a certain amount of seconds. Otherwise, it's going to consider that delay a game for you, and you're going to go back 5 yards. So really, really cool game that we have going on here. You can see the game is about to end for us at 3-0 with 45 seconds left. But you go back and forth. Obviously, playing American football, you guys can see how the game kind of works. And when you get even better at the game, they also have these little pieces right here, which I'm going to show you. And these are defenders that you can use. You can choose exactly how many you want to use. And essentially what happens is, if I was the red player and I was going first, the blue player would basically grab as many as we decided to use this game. Let's say we decided to use 4. And he can put his defenders anywhere on the field in front of this line here. So he can go ahead and put this like here. And it would have to be in front, of course, of the run area or the pass, because obviously we're not trying to block field goals, and you can't use these to block field goals. It's just to block running plays. So you can kind of do something like that. So now I'm going to have to manipulate these out of the way and waste my runs to go around it here. As you can see, I would have to like kind of go around it and do something like that, because now I have defenders in the way. You could put these anywhere you want and try to go around them to get your first down, which is interesting as well. So it adds a little bit of a layer to what you're actually doing with the defenders once you want to take that next step in the game. And you can see the iPad here has ended, and it's asking us, is the score final? So we can go ahead and hit yes. Congratulations to the guest team. You won. Final score 3-0. So that is basically the game of Fozzy Football, guys. I think it's a fantastic game. If you guys are fans of ShuffleBoard, but you can't have a full ShuffleBoard table, this is great. As you can see, it is really big, and it gives it a nice table presence. It's made really well. Like I said, it has a nice glossy feel to it, made out of wood, but it's obviously easy to play and easy to store. And it's really unique. I don't think you're going to find a lot of people like had this game, and you're not going to find this at bars or anything like that, at least not any of the ones that I've been to. And it's just really unique when people come over, because a lot of people do like shuffleboard out there. Shuffleboards are obviously expensive. They're hard to fit in the house and stuff. But this one is small and compact, and it's really, really unique. The fact that you use an iPad or an iPhone, preferably, on that stand to keep track of the score, and he tells you everything that's going on, so all the math is kind of done for you. He has a little announcements to add more of a flair. You have the background noise of the fans and all that kind of stuff while you're playing the game. Is all really cool. And for those of you guys who like football and shuffleboard, this is kind of a match made in heaven. For me, I love board games, and I love unique board games, and as soon as I saw this, I had to get my own, because this is really cool, and a lot of people that I know love football. So being able to play this back and forth is just a ton of fun. And of course, I didn't talk about every single rule in the game. I talked about like a little overview of how the game actually works. Obviously, the complete rulebook is on the app if you guys want to see it. The app is free to download, so you guys can even take a look at it before you actually get this in your house and buy it from them, because the board is obviously what you need and the actual pieces that you need. But really, really cool stuff from this game. I definitely recommend you guys check it out, especially if you're into shuffleboard and American football. Really unique, and I'm having a ton of fun with it and putting it out when there's parties and stuff. So if you guys have any questions about what you guys saw in today's video, guys, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.